Hello. In this video, I want to go over the Twinkle theme, both just working on getting those long, nice bows in there, but then also talking about the rhythm of Twinkle theme, because even though we don't use one of our rhythms like our Mississippi Stop Stops, or our ice cream cones, or our Run Ponies, our pineapple popsicles, or Mississippis, Twinkle itself does still follow a rhythm, of course. So we'll talk about that in just a little bit, but first, go ahead and get your violin ready. If you need to, go ahead and pause and tune it up and all that kind of stuff. And then when you've got it, go ahead and put it in rest position, just like that. Go ahead and drape that finger, and let's do a bow first. Very nice job. Okay, go ahead and get that violin on top of the shoulder. Hold it with the chin, nice and relaxed. Make sure that head's nice and heavy to really keep it in place. Pick back up. Make a good bow hold, with all the fingers bent, 2 fingers on the frog, pinky sits up on the log, first finger on the grip, thumb goes bump on the silver clip, but remember to make sure it's nice and bent. And then I want you to set it, and just keep your hand here for right now. We won't use the fingers quite yet. But go ahead and put the bow all the way on the G string at the frog. As you can see, make sure you tilt forward, just like that. Relax that shoulder quite a bit like that. So we're kind of relaxing into the string. And then we're gonna pull the bow down all the way to the tip. We wanna try to keep it straight. And then we're gonna go up on every string, starting on the G string. Here we go. Go ahead and get ready. Bow with the frog on the G string. Relax, tilt forward. Get ready to pull. 1, 2, ready, go. Down bow, all the way to the tip. Up bow. Now move to the D string, down bow, watch, keep it in the middle. Make sure you've got it tilted. Try to keep it straight at the tip. Relax to the E string. Up bow. Just like that. Just practicing those open strings is not a bad idea, because since a lot of what we do when we play is we have to think about this left hand quite a bit, just practicing on those open strings and thinking about the bow, all the things we've got to do with this whole side of the violin, of course, as well. It's not a bad idea. So in other words, if you need to, you can pause it, practice that a few times. That's a really good thing to go over. But let's start talking about Twinkle Theme. So one thing about Twinkle Theme, like I said, it does actually have a rhythm. But the first thing I like to go over is we have to talk about 2 new notes, which are our quarter note and our half note. And you might have gone over this before in either general music, or we might have talked about it a teeny tiny bit in class. But the thing to notice about it is these quarter notes are shorter than the half note, specifically by half, because 2 quarter notes will equal a half note. Just like this. So if, in other words, if I'm clapping these 2 notes, I go clap, clap. This one I've actually got to clap and then hold it for a whole extra beat. Let's work on that first. So we'll clap 4 quarter notes. I'll do it first, then we'll do it together. Quarter note, quarter note, quarter note, quarter note. Get ready to clap. Ready, set, and quarter note, quarter note, quarter note, quarter note. That's pretty easy. Now when it comes to the half notes, we have to hold those for 2 whole quarter notes. So the way I like to clap it is like this. I go half note, and I hold it over, half note, and I make sure to hold it over for that extra quarter note in there. So can we, let's go ahead and clap those half notes. Ready? And half note, half note. Very good. Let's take a look at that rhythm. So Twinkle Theme has a bunch of quarter notes, 6 of them, and then a half note at the very end. I'm going to sing at least the first part of it and point to our notes so that we just start to get it in our ear a little bit. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. And then we know the next part's the same, so we'll go ahead and skip that. But that rhythm goes throughout the entire piece from beginning to end, so we want to make sure that we've really got that in mind. Sometimes I'll hear from students, twinkle, twinkle, little star, star, how I wonder what you are. I don't want any repetitions of those words at the very end there, so we want to make sure that we have one big long note and not two smaller notes. Now, the way we play a half note is going to be a little different than how we play a quarter note. Quarter notes can be pretty short. You can even connect them a little bit, but they'll still be pretty short. Whereas with the half note, we gotta really make sure to use a lot of bow and go a little slower to make sure that we can leave that bow on there for the entire half note. I wanna work on that rhythm, the twinkle rhythm, we just talked about over here, but I wanna work on it first with just our open A. So do me a favor and get that violin ready. Top of the shoulder, heavy head, good bow hold, hand on the shoulder of the violin. Make sure you put that bow right in the middle on the A string, and I want to hear six of those quarter notes and then one half note at the end. I'll do it once, and then we'll do it together. Here I go. Half note. Just like that. Let's try it together. Ready, set, and go. Quarter note, quarter, 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 quarter. Now half note, then quarter, 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 half note. Very good. And of course you can pause the video and practice that up if you need to, just to get that idea of the slower bow. Just gotta move a little bit slower. Now, I'm gonna go to play it with Twinkle Theme, of course. We gotta use those fingers. So I'll give you an example by playing the introduction. I'll play the entire bread part, and then by the time I'm done with the bread, I want you guys to get ready. Violin on top of the shoulder, hold it with the chin, make sure the bow's in the middle, you know my whole thing. And then we'll play all the way through it together. All right, here I go. Super long Twinkle Theme introduction. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Viper. Now I wonder what you get ready. Go. Twinkle, twinkle, little half note. Viper. How I wonder what you half note. E. Viper. Half note. E. Viper. 2. Half note. Back to open A. Half note. Viper. Very nice. All right, and of course you can go back and watch this video as many times as you need to practice a couple of those key things, and happy practicing.